Victory Day is set for Monday, May the 9th. That's to commemorate the Nazi surrender to Russia in 1945. There's a lot of press right now stating that Vladimir Putin, realizing that this invasion of Ukraine is not going Russia's way, may declare war, which would give him more men and materiel. How concerning is that to hear news like that?
Truthfully, you can change the name of it all you want, but they're running out of resources and they're not going to put trained guys on the ground. They're going to put cannon fodder in. So I feel horrible for the Ukrainians, and I feel horrible for the young Russians that are going to get slaughtered on the battlefield. But as far as a major concern,
mobilization, then he can
mobilize. He can mobilize people, but they're untrained they're going up against trained Ukrainians, and it's a slaughter out there for the Russians.
I would imagine if he ramps things up and declares war, if that's the case, then Kyiv would be the crown jewel of the invasion. How concerning is that to you, being residents of Kyiv and you've decided to stay?
I'm not concerned, honestly. At this point, now that I've seen how Ukrainian military forces are fighting, and they're just, seems like it's a symphony for them. It's just they get better and better at it. Very professional. To me, it's just, I'm not concerned, for one, because Russia doesn't have enough troops. Even if they mobilize everybody, I don't think, and then weapons, where are they gonna get those?
Ukraine is getting a lot of Western shipments. I mean, they're just coming in here every day now. So you have to look at this realistic. When you live here, it's a different story. Like, you see everything in the Western news, oh my God. But what it comes down to is like the amount of land between where the Russian troops are now and Kyiv to get here. Do you know how far they have to come across? It's very far. And the Ukrainians, they meet stiffer resistance the further they come into Ukraine. So are we concerned? Of course we're concerned, but are we worried? Not really that worried. We have faith in the Ukrainian military.
And I'm looking at Russian and I'm just style and everything, and just I'm thinking, we were afraid of that. The whole world was afraid of that. That is just not okay. That's just, I don't know, it just kind of opened up and the truth came to light, so to speak. So it's just many of them. They're mostly untrained and people they mobilized, so-called troops, is just from the villages, and some of them
I've
had
never even seen a working toilet. Some of these people have not even seen a working toilet in where they live.
And some of them, when they captured them, had slippers made out of wood. So to me, it's just like, not to say, it's not that I'm making fun of somebody, but it's just, at the same time, you claim that you were this army that the whole world should be scared of, and then here they are in the reality, and they're just cruel, and there are many of them, and they're angry because they came from this tiny villages that were they don't know life, they don't know working toilets, they don't know what asphalt or street light is, and it's brutality. That's mostly what it comes down to. But as far as the style of fighting, they're not fighters, they're just basically criminals.
Чтобы давить нас оттуда. Вот поэтому он Украину выбрал. Ему, в принципе, на Украину, на украинцев наплевать.
Ну, чтобы они были против нас.
Не знаю, но это очень плохо.
Мне кажется, чтобы они могли защищаться.
Чтобы дальше продвигалась война, чтобы вместо того, чтобы остановить ее, знаете, как зачем дрова подкидывать в печь? Чтобы шел ярче огонь. И здесь то же самое.
Помочь ей сдержать наш удар.
Россию хотят завоевать.
То, что Россию ненавидят, хотят, чтобы Россия, как говорится, вся изнутри, как сказать, ослабела. Чтобы победить ее. Но Россия непобедима.
First of all, they're uneducated. mostly. So that element that they're talking to, which is random people in the street, that's that mass that's been, I call them radioactive, because they just kind of like, they got that radiation poisoning, which I call propaganda. And it's just kind of, the reason is that it's just because once it's in you, it's just not that hard to break it.
When we talked, I think it was the first time we talked, you were telling me that it was tough to get your hands on weapons and food. How has that changed as far as procuring the essentials of life, food, and also you were in the Marines, John. Have you been able to get your hands on any weapons to defend yourself?
We have not sought weapons because once they pulled out of Kyiv, we didn't feel the necessity for them. As far as foodstuffs and things of that nature, it's almost like the war isn't happening. Like, not everything that we were used to is there, but I'd say what, 75% of it is. And like, some products have been removed that were made in Russia. Obviously, any Russian products. Yeah. And I'll tell you this, Coca-Cola no longer exists because they're still working in Russia.
Yeah.
So now Pepsi you can buy. I'm not a big Pepsi or Coke drinker, but like, I was in the store the other day and I'm like, oh, that's just like some off-brand cola and Pepsi.
We just passed Easter, obviously, and you guys are going through hell over there. How have things changed for you spiritually?
Well, on Easter we went. It was a midnight service, even though it was curfew, but we went not to the cathedral, which we normally go to. We went to this small little church, like somewhere in the
St. George's.
Yeah, it's St. George's. It's a tiny little church. It's beautiful and cute and small. And the father basically said he was going to start midnight liturgy either way. The services started at midnight. As the services start, so do the air raids. And through the entire service.
The bells of St. Michael's we could hear, because it's St. Michael's Monastery. It's a very big monastery close by to that little church. As the liturgy started, you could hear the air raids while the bells were going. Spiritually, though, I'll answer your question. My spirituality really hasn't changed. It was always rather strong.
I guess it's just your relationship with God. Basically, if you didn't have one, you will have one, I think. Because I don't know who can be an atheist when you have bombs and rockets dropping. It's just, I don't, psychologically, even if you were an atheist before, I think you would reconsider